As for this weekend, Rob, massive fixture to finish the season, sell-out crowd and something tangible to play for.
And that's what it's all about, you know, to be at this stage of the season, we're still something very important for us to fight for. Sorry, is an important place for us to be. That it's Heineken Cup is fantastic, but you know, it's not the be-all and end-all for us to get in the Heineken Cup. What's important for us is that we just keep developing and keep taking steps forward. And I think last 4 or 5 weeks, I look at the way the players have attacked games to go after the top half of the Premiership, and that makes me immensely proud. And I'd almost only really be disappointed if we don't qualify because of the efforts they put in. You know, they've shown it's very important to them to be seen as a good side within the Premiership and to want the challenge of the Heineken Cup. And now it's in their hands. You know, they've worked extremely hard to create this scenario where they've been a game away from making important things happen, and now they've got to go out and they've got to grab it with 2 hands and not be afraid of it, but be excited about it.
You've said in the past that this is the time of the season where the good sides crank up a gear. I think you've shown that this sort of last 4 or 5 weeks yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we always felt we'd finish the season strongly, and so we've always been relatively comfortable with our league position through the year. You know, it's like I say, it's in our hands. We're kind of where we want to be. We're in the top half of the Premiership at the minute. But as I said, you know, now's the time to show some ambition. Say, well, we're fighting for a top 5 or a top 6 spot. We're not afraid of letting someone else take it off us, and that's how I want us to perform. If we perform in a manner that's about us being ambitious and attacking the game and going for it and showing the best of ourselves, then I'll be happy with whatever the result.
You've had some fantastic tussles with Gloucester in the Premiership already. What do you expect from this weekend?
Oh, another tough one. You know, they're not 5th in the league for no reason. You know, I say pretty much every week the league table doesn't lie. You know, they're 5th because they deserve to be there. They've won a lot of important games. They've been knocking on the door of the top 4 for most of the season, and I think in everybody's eyes, really, anyone would say they've had a very successful season. But what you have to do in big games of Premiership rugby is make as much of the performance about yourselves as you can. Gloucester will be coming here looking to force themselves on the game, and we've got to do the same, and we've got to make more moments go our way and look to control more of the game. We've managed to do that in some quite big games recently, and we've just got to ram that home again. If
you were to reflect on the season as a whole, you must take plenty of positives from it. Yeah,
it's been a great season. I mean, we're a better attacking side. We're scoring more tries. We're sounder defensively. You know, nearly everything we've done has been better in a more competitive Premiership. So we're heading in the right direction, and that's the important thing. The important thing for me always is, in my role here, is to keep us heading in the right direction. I take the odd result one way or the other, whether it's a win or a loss, never bothers me too much. You know, they can be so alike that they're not worth worrying about. You know, one decision or one error can win or lose you a game of Premiership rugby. What it's more about is the bigger picture, and are you moving forward? And I'm very comfortable with that we are. I still believe we're moving forward as a squad. I still think we're developing as a group of players, and I think we're developing as a set of coaches and what we're doing off the field as well. So I'm very comfortable with everything, but it is always nice, as you say, to have a tangible reward for a big season's effort come the final whistle of the final game.
As well as your brother Richard leaving, a number of other faces will bid farewell this weekend, some of whom have played a massive part, especially in the Championship year. Yeah,
and it's always kind of a bittersweet time of year now. You know, we're coming towards the end of the season, we're starting to achieve things, and as you say, getting close to what we could say is knocking off an achievement with the Heineken Cup, and yet you're letting go of some good guys. You know, we pride ourselves here that we're a squad full of good men, and if you've got a squad full of good men, when they leave, it hurts a little bit. And as always, you know, they behave exemplary. You know, there's no harder place to be than a guy not playing when you want to play and when you've trained hard for something. But those guys behave exemplary, and you know, I'm a big believer in it's the guys who aren't on the pitch who probably determine as much as your success as the guys who are on it. And we've got a good group here, and as you say, a number of those guys are moving on. For various reasons, a couple of other guys retiring. You know, Si Alcott very unfortunately with his medical condition, and a few other guys looking at other challenges or other opportunities. And what I'd like to say to them all is, I'd like to thank them for their efforts here, because they've all been good guys around the place. They've all been popular members of the squad. They've all worked extremely hard for what we want to achieve here at Exeter. But some things have to change, and you know, we can't keep together forever the group of players who are in the Championship with us, because we just can't, whether we want to or not. You know, it doesn't work like that. You know, times move on, but they'll all have some fantastic memories about what they've achieved here at the club.
Come 5 o'clock, it'd be a chance to put to bed the Premiership season for another year, but then I'd imagine your focus will switch to other matters and a tour to Argentina.
Well, my focus won't switch for at least a few hours. I know that. I think having a couple of beers with the players and just chilling out for a few hours would probably the most important thing to do. I think, you know, I've got a bit of time before the tour starts, a couple of weeks, to just bed in a few more things that we've got to get sorted here in regards pre-season and our goals and aims for next year. That are the most important things for me. And until I get the important things done that need to be done here, I won't be worrying too much about the England thing. I can pretty much sit down with my laptop and watch every England game of the last 2 years in the space of 3 or 4 days. So I've got plenty of stuff to look through, but I'll start all that kind of end of next week.
Fantastic.